Hi.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Water and Sewer Committee here on May 23rd, 2023. President of this committee are Councilman Hunt, Councilman Frank, Public Works Director Troy Kruger, Steve Paul Jensen, Finance Officer Shannon Phillips, and Water and Sewer Supervisor Mark Clapper. And I turn it over, Troy. Right away.
I don't have a whole lot to really talk about other than you guys, this is a good chance for you guys to start asking Mark what he needs for the upcoming year for budgeting season. We're planning on doing a water main replacement on Adams Street in the second week in June. Sewer replacement the week after, or no, we had 2 weeks scheduled to do that.
2 weeks for water main and then.
Yeah, we have a sewer main replacement to do sometime this summer. Working with the highway project every day. I visited with Mike Flockus yesterday, and Mike's gonna amp up his efforts on communicating with the people on the project, and we talked about some scenarios for getting people in and out. They wanted to use our alleyways and block off some streets, and they can be done in 4 days versus the other scenario of putting in temporary driveways and dragging it out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Unknown caller.
So on our end, the project's going fairly smooth on the water and the sewer replacement. I guess there's not a whole lot unless somebody has some questions.
And they're just gonna keep access to everything, aren't they?
Well, he's gonna communicate, he's gonna give everybody an option, like either let us pave through and get it done. And he thinks they could do that, within about 4 days, or if they have to do, and they realize that some places are gonna have to do some kind of access, but I was just helping him out we were having the discussion, and he was, mainly he was trying to identify businesses and people to talk to, and then if our alleyways, were usable, if we would allow them to use alleyways for accesses for some of those businesses, and that's basically the gist of the conversation. But they will be talking to all of the property and business owners here in the next couple of days, because they started paving yesterday. So, Mark, you got anything?
Just that well activity out there. We got Downey Drilling redoing 2 wells of ours, 13 and 14. Well 13, the bottom bowl assembly needs to be replaced. It's about shot. So he's getting pricing and stuff. I should have it by the end of today. So it will come in higher than what we expected. So how much, I don't know. And Dan didn't know at that point.
So we have $35,000 in the budget right now for well maintenance.
Hopefully that will cover it.
Okay,
Like I said, I'll find out more today.
from Dan.
Yep, he's gonna let me know. The pool is full of water. We're working on that, girls are up there, guards are cleaning and stuff up there, stuff too, so it's looking good. So we'll be ready to go by June 1st.
Did we end up getting anybody to do the sewer relining this year?
Well, we gave it to HydroClean, but he hasn't gotten back to me.
Haven't heard
Yeah,
back.
he was trying to get us on schedule as soon as he could. And, as of yesterday, I called him and got his voicemail, left him a message.
Those darn voicemails.
Yeah.
Your manager started taking phone calls yesterday to schedule pool lessons.
She did, okay.
She asked me to that.
The pull phone has been disconnected.
The 9003 number is disconnected because they were having so many issues the last 2 years with utilizing it. And rather than having Golden West come in and reline, they have a cell phone now. And that also makes it easier, or at least last year's pool manager said it was easier to carry that cell phone with her. And then she had it available on her at all times too. So
Just gotta get that number for that one.
841-0290.
Pool will be ready to go by June 1st, as planned.
0190.
841-0290.
All right, thank you.
Probably looking at a lot of the same kind of stuff for water and sewers last year. We'll do another, probably do a little bit more water main replacement next year, assuming the highway project gets done. Maybe beef up that effort a little bit, but a couple things that we haven't really sat down and discussed projects and equipment with my supervisors real thoroughly yet. That's, but just a couple things that pop into my head for the water, the solar tank on top of the hill probably is gonna be due for a recoating on the inside,
How often is that get done?
preferably.
Yeah.
Not as long as I'm around, but, that one, the silver tank, does that have a liner in it?
Yeah, yeah.
That was just spray painted.
So maybe we just need to do, we need to do another dive on that one, but
They did last year.
we have the report though. They said, when we had it dove last year, they said that it was gonna need some attention pretty soon, so we'll have to get some numbers on that. The outsides are good. In the sewer department, we'll do another,
Was that the blue tank that got done a few years ago?
yep, inside.
Okay.
So it got painted in what, 16?
Yeah.
And then we did a total sandblast and
Inside.
recoating, epoxy coating on the inside a couple years ago.
The dude went scuba diving in our tank. The inspector of the tank.
Really?
That's how they inspected it.
Yeah, they dive
I
it.
liked it.
They actually dive it and video everything they do inside.
Hmm.
They do, there's always a little bit of sand and residue in the bottom. They suck it all out and clean it up, and then they video the inspection that they do on the inside, so we get
I remembered one of the tanks, I just didn't remember which one.
the sewer department will, hopefully can get back on track with these sewer relining projects. Getting companies to do stuff has just been really tough lately, last couple of years. Mark's got a Vector truck that's getting old. It's got quite a few leaks in it, and the stainless steel tanks, the water tanks on the side are getting in pretty tough shape, where we're probably gonna need to replace, so we probably need to talk about trading that in or doing an extensive overhaul on it. That's been giving us some problems lately. You got, like I said, I haven't had a chance to sit down with my supervisors really yet and really talk shop about this upcoming budgeting season. You guys got questions?
Well, we're just gonna point out, looking at this budget, also, we're 39% of the way through the year. Yesterday, I pointed this out. I'd like council to be aware of this. 39% of the way through the year. Sewer has spent 19% of their resources 39% of the way through the year, and your water department is 21.93% of your expenses, 39% of the way through the year. Mainline improvements, that's in the budget under water. That's Adam Street, correct? When will the Adam Street project take off, real quick?
Second week in June.
Second week in June? Okay, I had some people ask it.
And you'll have your wells, he'll spend, with that, having to replace that balloon, he'll spend all of his appropriated money for that project. That's,
At 35,000?
yeah. The other well checked out really well though, didn't it?
Yeah, he didn't say nothing about 14, so
So-
that must have been all right.
It might not, you know.
Yeah,
it-
just probably a few pipes replaced or something.
We might still come in the budget on that. The Adam Street project, that'll eat up some of that budget. We've got a couple other, if we have time this year, we've got a couple other projects that, I know we still have a mystery on 8th Street. Trying to figure out where water's coming from underneath the Super Duper grocery store. Hopefully we'll get the sewer relining in. I guess we had more than one company approach us. We had that other company out of Iowa, so if HydroClean can't get something lined up, we probably need to reach out to them because we do need to get
Yeah.
some relining done. HydroClean did come in cheaper though.
Yeah, they did come in cheaper.
It's because they knew they weren't going to get here. Companies either go cheap or big at that point.
Cheap doesn't do any good if you don't get nothing done. That's really all I got.
So from documentation standpoint, I need to, your electrical and water department are doing a lot with proprietary information or spending, okay, to our system. As our quotes are coming in over $4,000, if it's proprietary, you still need documentation on the file that indicates that's proprietary. That's got to be filed with the auditor. So if there's no quotes, I'm going to try giving you a good example. Right now, we're doing so many upgrades with Core and Main and our meter system. So anytime that you're spending over $4,000, you have to on that quote sheet, and if I need to adjust that to indicate proprietary information, you need the appropriate documentation from that company that says this is proprietary to our system, nobody else can work on it. You have to have that on file. So you don't have to go out for 3 quotes, but understand in your electrical, for you, Troy, in your electrical, water, and sewer departments, there's a lot of proprietary spending that's done there. And anytime that we're doing that, we have to have a sheet from that company saying it's proprietary to our system, that we can't add anything else, and we're gonna spend with them for our unique system. Specifically for you, Mark, anytime you're spending water on those water meters, Core and Main, make sure you're getting a letter from whoever we're spending with saying proprietary network system, and these meters are part of that proprietary system. That way you don't have to go get a different quote. For them to send you a letter stating that, it's 5 minutes out of their day saying proprietary.
Big deal.
Okay, well, I thought if it was already in the bid item, you know, we gave them the bid for all these meters.
From a long time ago.
Radios and stuff.
That should count,
If it's part of the actual bid purchase, that counts.
right?
If it's outside of what was actually put into that bid, then it doesn't count. So if it's a
So all
separate
these-
purchase from the bid,
these are all part of that original
The
bid?
meters were never part of the bid. It was just your radios.
Ah, okay,
And you make the great point, though, it's not like we would be the first place in the world that would be asking them
no.
for evidence of the proprietary nature. They've got those things ready to go upon request.
Mark, you think those meters were part of the original bid?
I thought the meter heads and
I did.
some of the meters were part of the original bid,
I thought it was
and the
just
radios.
the radios. We didn't put meters into the original bid, did we? It was just radios and the read system
No, I think the meters, well, we bought the meters,
separate.
we bought the meters right away because they were available.
Austin, I think you were part of the committee last year when we spent on those meter heads. And unfortunately, I don't have a video confirmation of that. All we have is our notes.
I think we bought I think the original bid was the meters and then the extra 60, 80,000 or whatever was the meter head.
And we added that on last year.
Separate. It wasn't, you didn't add it onto the bid. It was separate. It wasn't a change order.
The meter head probably became proprietary because we had to have that style and we only did the meter body.
Okay. Well, if you can just get a documentation from him, it doesn't mean that we have to go out we've already spent on the meter heads. We just need to document and put in that file for the auditors that is proprietary to this water system. So if you could talk to Core and Main, one of the two of you, and just get that and attach that with that file, that invoice.
Census is who we get the water stuff from.
Okay.
Core Main's just the distributor of Census, so,
Gotcha.
whenever we buy
Thank you.
anything that's Census related,
Okay.
be the meter heads, the radios, or anything to do with the reading part of it. And as far as that goes, we're contracted with Census right now. So we're in an agreement with them.
Can we?
They won the bid when we went out for advertisements on this, so, we technically, it would be,
Is it a matter of just documenting that they won the bid?
It can even be so simple as that when it's on the invoice, proprietary according to blah, blah, blah. It just needs to be annually. So technically our bid is from 2-3 years ago. So just annually, we need to, on the first invoice that we get every year, meters are proprietary to the read system or whatever.
Is this a matter of simply putting the bid letting in on that file? And it goes on every single purchase that's made according to that bid award?
Once you're in a whole new fiscal period, though.
Okay.
That prior bid doesn't answer the question of purchases that come in the next fiscal period unless there's that proprietary connection.
Okay. Not trying to slow this process down, just Mark, for you, anytime you're dealing with Core and Main for the census products, just get a proprietary documentation, just a letter saying it's proprietary. And I would suppose on the electrical system, as we're moving forward, that and the sewer system also, water, sewer, electrical. Anytime we're not getting quotes, make sure if it's proprietary to our system, we are documenting that for the auditors. Okay. I have nothing else. Councilman Frank, any questions?
No.
Councilman Clint?
Have we gained any ground or anything with Elevate water?
we'll do it.
We're gonna do it?
Yeah. Well, actually, I sent a text back to, I think it's Dustin from, he's from Summit. They're putting up the building. And I asked him to send us a formal request and then a layout of where they, where they first want to see things get brought to, and I haven't received anything from them yet.
Looks like they're gonna pour the floor any day.
Without water in the building, I saw that. they're all formed up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they can shut it in, they don't have to have our water there. Bill.
But they don't know exactly where we're gonna put our water.
No, I haven't had any, other than me reaching out to them, I haven't had any communication from them at all.
What about easement, are we
What?
gonna, what path are you planning on going?
Up behind, south of Smoke and Barrels, and then up straight east, up from behind.
I've talked to the landowner. I don't know if you've followed up, Troy, but there is one principal contact to that trust out there. And talked to one of the landowners we were going to talk to, and I think they're 100% on board for the easement. DGR is still drafting that easement. They actually had McCready and Construction out there. Our sewer must go up behind the existing Smoking Barrels to that corner, southeast corner of their lot.
Yep.
Yeah. They're pretty familiar with everything, and they're 100% on board with that. It's just a matter of getting that back from Jacob.
Yeah, I had a brief discussion with him, but I guess until I get something, either in an email or a phone call or something that's just requesting water and electricity other than hearsay, I didn't pursue it any further, but I try to remember the guy, Trent, I believe was the person that I spoke to from Elevate, and then I've also spoke to the Summit Contracting people and just requested some kind of a formal request or a blueprint or design, or where they foresee the water coming in, where they foresee the electric coming in. The only thing that they've really indicated is that they'd like some temporary electricity out there, so I've asked her to do that, but that's as far as we've gotten on that.
Have they set up a new account with the utility office to bill for the temporary electricity?
Yeah, we'll have to put a meter out there.
Okay, so they'll need to fill out a
It'll be temporary.
deposit form too.
Yeah. But I don't think Kurt's gotten it done yet.
For the last 5 years, crews have been busy. This year, I think this is going to be the straw year. We're pushing as hard as we can go. Okay, any other questions, council? Mark, Troy, Paul?
Nope.
All right, that will conclude water and sewer.